She says, I need officers here now. He's being aggressive.
Okay.
He's sending text messages. He's trying to leave. He's wrestling with my uncle. He's threatening to kill himself. He sent text messages to people saying he's going to hang himself. He's saying if the police, she says, please don't shoot. If the police show up, please don't shoot. He says if the police show up, he'll try to fight them. And she's saying, please don't shoot him. It's gotten physical. Yes, it has gotten physical. He just tried to fight my uncle. This 911 operator is so... Richard, please stop. Richard, please stop. Richard, please stop. Black sedan. About 30 more seconds, guys. This lady, God. This 911 operator is so frustrating.
I'm trying to help.
I hear some of that.
I feel so bad for this lady, man. So rude. So rude. Sit. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. Just initially, a few sad things here. Number one, you have a person on the phone that's supposed to be trying to help a situation that's definitely not.
Terrible.
The fact that you have to tell police officers when you drive to list, please don't shoot him. That's a problem.
But that's secondary. Let's focus on the information we just learned. Wow, that's really, really, really sad. This is okay. So we're learning Richard Sherman is definitely a danger to himself. He's a danger to other people, but really, this is really sad. Who knew he was this close to rock bottom?
It sounds like that. Like I said before, it sounds like her main concern was him. That she's calling. It sounds like to me that she's calling in concern for him about and what he's going to do to himself. And obviously, if he's driving, it might endanger somebody else. But it doesn't sound like she's not calling.
Well, he did get in a physical altercation with her uncle, so he was. I mean, he was just out. He was just tough. I mean, he was out of control. It seemed like, and she was concerned for him, but also concerned for her family and barricaded in a house. And dude, wow. I have nothing else to say except whoa. Richard Sherman always seemed like he had it so put together this whole life. Man, this is tragic. He could have died today. I mean, at least he's still alive. At least no one got hurt. Man, I hope he's okay. I hope he doesn't do anything to himself, and I hope people, I hope he gets some mental health check, something.
Yeah, I hope
he's being monitored in prison right now.
I'm sure knowing how Richard is and how he's definitely had an effect on plenty of people in the league and players in the league. I'm sure plenty of people are trying to reach out to him, and hopefully he accepts whatever help and everything that's offered to him, because I'm sure it will be, because he's definitely helped other people in this league.
I do feel sympathetic. I mean, I was just on with my dad. I didn't know that he was starting to kill himself. And we were thinking like, well, this is a sad story, but we don't know him. And, maybe he's not a good guy. And maybe we should be more sympathetic with the in-laws. But dang, man, I mean, it seems like he came real close to ending it all last night. And I'm glad he didn't. That sucks. I'm so sorry that his family's going through this and he's going through this.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't know that this is a situation where you need to feel sympathetic for the in-laws or feel sympathetic for Richard. I think it's all together. I think this is a family issue. They're not. It doesn't sound like they want to absolve or dissolve the family. It sounds like this is a family issue. They want to get this resolved. They want to help Richard, and it's sad. But I think you can feel sympathy for the family and feel sympathy for Richard, because I think they're all kind of in it. I think they're all together still. For it sounds like it, and it is super sad. And hopefully,
I can only just imagine like being in a position where my wife got into a fight with my brother or something, and I had to lock my wife out of the house, and I was like, that would be the worst thing. I just feel so terrible for that family. I'm sure no one thought it was coming to that, and damn, that sucks. I feel bad for Sherman and his wife and his parents, in-laws and stuff, and man, I hope he gets some help because that's terrible. I've met Richard Sherman. I'd hate to think that he's going through all this stuff. Wow, that's heavy. That's the heaviest thing I've ever. Wow.
Yeah, shout out to Richard Sherman and his family. Hope.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, hopefully.
I don't know.
It all turns out all right.
And again, like it seemed like what she was doing is like, look, my husband is basically suicidal and destructive. Can you please come here and diffuse the situation and not shoot him? And they still got him with the dog. Maybe it was they had to, but the lady on the phone wasn't particularly sympathetic, and it doesn't seem like the cops who showed up were either. And then their initial report made him seem like he was a wife beater, which is what it seemed like. You know, God love this Ashley Moss lady. She was protecting her family, but also trying to protect Richard Sherman at the same time. And she was predicting that stuff like this would happen. And so,
yeah, is that's the name of his wife?
I believe so. Ashley Moss, I believe so. Yes.
Ashley Moss. That was. And listen to that call. Like she handled that very well. I mean, to tell the police, please don't. I mean, don't
shoot him. It's Richard Sherman. Don't shoot him. Yeah. Whew, good for her. Man, that could have been so much worse. That could have been terrible.
Could have.
Oh boy. One more detail that's been revealed about this Richard Sherman thing. They said that he drank 2 bottles, 2 fists, one of vodka and one of Hennessy. He could have killed himself. He could have drank himself to death. He could have killed himself on the highway. It is remarkable that Richard Sherman is still alive, and that I hope this was the worst day of his life and he can bounce back. And I hope that I'm glad he didn't hurt himself, glad he didn't hurt anyone else. What a terrible story. He was this close. It sounded like God, hope a lot of people help him. He needs to be around people right now. So
positive thoughts to Richard and his family, his wife. And I hope this situation, it gets resolved as quickly as possible with minimum hurt to anybody. Because, again, Ashley, right, his wife is still involved in this, and you don't want her, you don't want to see her be hurt by the media or anything that, or we just heard the 911 call, but we're not supposed to hear that, right? Like we're not supposed to, like that's not
true.
That shouldn't have leaked out. That should have been private information between. Yeah. So I think everybody, please, that calls out there, but please be respectful of Sherman's family and Ashley. They do have kids. And
try to think about like how you would feel if something like that happened to someone in your family or to you. It's the worst nightmare. And then it's public.
The only I think the positive thing that may be able to come out of that phone call is like whatever. It's the Washington area. You guys got to get better training in your 911 dispatchers, right? Because that's not okay.
I mean, like Ashley Moss was upset. Of course, she's upset.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, "What's your problem?"
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, Dave Chappelle. He had that joke about how he doesn't call 911 because exactly that they released the phone calls and all that stuff. Like, I always giggled at that joke when I was 12. But it's so true, man. There's always like the painful truth in his jokes. Like, wow.